How you doing today? My name is Jeffrey L. Edwards, author, musician, CEO of Middle Ground with JLE LLC podcast for Retreat Your Life Family. Today, my topic will be about your words can break the cycle. I want to share my story and hopes it will help you when dealing with today's students and all the challenges they are facing. Your words can break the cycle. If you wonder what that phrase means, let me tell you a few stories of me and the words I've encountered growing up from elementary to high school that I didn't always share with my parents. Let me take you back to the 1980s when I went to Hubert Elementary School, a predominantly Caucasian mixed school of different cultures. My parents, Reverend Homer Edwards Jr. and Rosie Edwards, did a great job in instilling a strong moral compass in me and my three siblings. Education was law. In my house, there was no bringing home at this time D's and E's. Now they call it F's. Crazy times. Unless that's the best you could do. And then you would get help for you to improve. I was an honor roll student for most of my K through 12 school years. I didn't tell no one that my career choice was to be president of the United States through en route getting a law degree. One day in the third or fourth grade, my female Caucasian teacher had a career assignment in class. Okay, everyone spoke of what they wanted to be. When it was my turn, I said, get a law degree, then become president of the United States. She asked to speak to me after class. I wondered, what did I do? I don't think I did nothing to get in trouble. So I spoke with her and she asked me, was I serious about my choice? I said, yes. Then she responded with shocked me, hurt me, and pissed me off a little bit. She said that path isn't for you. You would be better doing something with your hands. Now, me being a kid, I asked why. I would just be the first African-American president. No big deal. Her response that suited better for better men to do that job, and I'd be better building stuff with my hands. I left class with a lot of different emotions. In my home, I was taught of my heritage and what great wonders my people have done and can do if given a fair opportunity. The more I thought about it, it hurt my feelings. Yeah, it really did. That she was so comfortable sharing my dreams because of my race. So I vowed to prove it wrong. Your words can break the cycle. What she said could have broken me and sent me on another path of others before me that I know went down, who were told something similar, that got discouraged and started going to the streets. But this wouldn't be the last time I would see or be told what the path of my life is before my life really started. And they said what they really wanted back in the 80s. If my parents did not teach us, embed us in us what we can do if we put our mind to it, lean on God for wisdom, be a leader, not a follower, stand on your own, and don't let no one tell you different or mislead you. That teacher would have crushed my ability to dream the impossible is possible. Now I'm at Guest Middle School, was in the 8th grade. At this time in the 80s, there were a lot of after-school programs where we watched videos about teen pregnancy, STDs, gangs, drug dealers, and outcomes if you went down one of those paths. The messaging back then, even on TV and everywhere you went, was a young African-American male would be dead by 21 or a teenage father by 17. Again, your words can break the cycle. I was confident that wasn't my life story because none of these options had something I wanted. Now, it was a spring day I could recall, I think in 91 or 92, and a teacher or counselor was with a policeman, and they had a list. And they were going to different classes of all the 8th grades and calling names. And when they called your name, you had to leave the classroom. Now, this particular day, the finest girl in my class was talking to me. So I'm like, I'm the man for the moment. Okay. They say my name. I ain't paying no attention, like, whatever. I'm doing me. Even she was like, they calling you. I'm like, man, you actually smiling at a brother? I don't care what they talking about. So after After enough, we're like, okay, they're going to keep calling me. Let me see what they want. I go up there and they take us all out the room, have us walk single file. And I'm noticing we're not going to the office or another room to talk about something. They wind up putting us all in the van and they took us to the 2nd Police Precinct on Schaefer and Grand River. We get in there and they start showing us jail cells. I guess their version of scared straight, yelling if we don't stay on the right path or stay in school, this is where we're going to be. A lot of other brothers were nervous, like, dang, we were just in class. But remember, I wanted to be a lawyer. And I'm looking at this like, and Matlock had just came out maybe a year or two earlier. So I'm like, to my understanding, you couldn't leave the school without a permission note signed by your parent. So I'm asking, where's the permission slip at? They were still yelling, but I'm asking again, okay, well, where's the permission slip for me to be here? Then they kind of got out of that scared straight vibe, like, whoa, what are you talking about? Because I'm making sense. Like, you took me out of school, pretty much kidnapped me to show me a jail cell that I'm not going to see. And my mom don't know where I'm at, so can I call her and let her know where I'm at? And you can explain to her why you took me out of school. Now, me talking like this, they didn't like that. They're like, oh, man, we got to get them back to school. Now, on the way back to school, a lot of other kids were asking, dang, Jeff, you kind of challenged them. Like, since we've been in school, you can't leave without a permission slip. So what good does it do? And a lot of us were good kids to take us to show us a jail cell that most of us will not see because we got the right implementation of stuff that they have for us to stay on the right path. And I was talking to the finest girl in my class. I love women, like, dude, they messed up the vibe. So I was really offended, I mean, it's not like they could have took us to see the mayor's office or something, which would have been better. You stay on the right track, you can be this or something. They just quickly still fall into the same line with the times where this is where you're going to wind up. I'm like, okay. But again, your words can break the cycle. Now, during the 80s, I've looked up, African-American people made up 15% of Michigan state residents, but 37% of people in jail, 53% of people in prison. In 1980, women in jail increased 362%. That's a crazy stat. The number of women in prison increased to 237%. Now, from 1983 to 2015, African-American trends in Michigan incarceration increased over 165%. I did this little research and it was staggering of these numbers, but your words can break the cycle. If you wonder how I escaped the trend, one, God blessed me with parents that taught us life lessons the best they could. Before my father was a preacher, he was in the streets and used that firsthand knowledge to detour us from making them choices. Next, after my father died, January 91, I was blessed that God placed mentors in my life to give me life lessons that he probably would have taught me to keep me on the right path. My big brothers helped keep me on the right track as well. And then lastly, it becomes you. And I think that's the biggest key. If you're talking to students, you got to find a way to relate to them and get them to see you have the ultimate decision on where you're going to wind up. There are stats where they look at how many young boys can't read or do math by the 4th grade, and they're looking at how many jail cells they might need to create. Because if you can't read and write, you might go to the streets to make a living, which is not a great living to be doing. And it's unfortunate that you see that a lot because by high school, the gangs increased at Cooley and people started joining. I'm a nerd, so that's nothing I wanted to do, but you really start seeing more of them by the time we got to our senior year of 95, 96. they've been through war almost, in and out of jail or shot at, and just really understanding that they didn't have to make those choices. But then it makes you wonder, did they have a teacher that was encouraging them to do something great? Or if they told them what they wanted, oh, you can't do that. Now, I can recall a time in the 6th grade. It was me and a young lady. We were the smartest two in the class. And me and my classmates were talking about what we would be when we grow up. Oddly, for her, they said lawyer or something awesome. But when they got to me, and it shows the imagery does matter. Oh, Jeff gonna be the big time dope dealer the Fed's looking for because he's so smart. Like it was a badge of honor. I was really pissed off. I'm like, why I can't be president or start a company or something? Why I gotta be Nino Brown? Because I'm smart. You can do more with your brain than do something in the streets. That's why a lot of this really is up to you on. And the world we live in now is definitely a blink of an eye. We didn't really have the internet back then. But I think 92 or 93, Vice President Al Gore let the world start using the internet in the United States. But it still isn't on the level of what you see now. News travels in less than a minute. If it happened in China and it was something horrible, they talking about TikTok or Facebook in less than a minute to 5 minutes. So a lot is bombarding students today that could be a distraction or enticement for them to do something they shouldn't be doing. And that's a great challenge with all of the teachers, parents, coaches, counselors you're faced with, trying to relate to them and get them to understand, I'm here to help you, but I need to find that common ground to relate to you so I can see where your head's at, where you're thinking. And hopefully the students will listen to what they're trying to say because these great people are here to help. And for me, my story didn't end with me being a big time dope dealer. I want to use my brain for something better. So I graduated from Thomas M. Cooley High School in 96. I changed my major 3 times at Wayne State and ultimately graduated from Mike Ilitch School of Business with a degree in Bachelor of Science in Business Administration and Management, August of 2020, during the unfortunate pandemic. And just last year, I became an entrepreneur as an author, publishing 2 books, the Inspirational Series, #Musician Thoughts. I released 2 albums, one in 2019, The Jel Lee Experience, and recent 2022, Jel Lee World, positive music with nice sounds that you can listen to work out, walk, whatever. Just some positive stuff to feed to you that you can do it if you keep going. I listen to a lot of positive motivation stuff myself, I see now, and I hope kids are having outlets to that as well. Because it really affected to have that teacher say, I couldn't be what I want to be because of race, which shouldn't matter. And it really made me look at things on a level of, you got to be your biggest cheerleader, no matter what's going on in your life. If unfortunately you've been dealt a bad hand with family, you can get out of it. Just lean on God and stay the course. Whatever it is that your heart is leaning towards what you want to do, just stay focused on that. Reach out to teachers, counselors, coaches, your parents, big brother, sister, whoever that can help give you the right people in that field that can keep you going. Because it's crucial. And I never thought about entrepreneurship, but later in 2021, I started my first business as CEO and host of Middle Ground with Jel Lee LLC podcast, where we treat you like family with the mission, interviewing amazing individuals to help others find their purpose. I still plan to run as president one day because I told me I couldn't do it. But I definitely want you to think on my title, Your Words Can Break the Cycle. I humbly ask, when you are engaging a student, keep in mind the story that they might have lived through or are living through now. And ask, are they okay? What's your home life like? And if they feel that you're sincere, they probably will share what they're really going through, and that will give you the tools on how you can help them reach them. And once you do, they will be on a better path. You can inspire them to do the impossible or make them believe the impossible is not possible. But it's all about how we interact with each other. I want to thank you for your time. I'm praying for all the parents, counselors, teachers, coaches, big brother, big sisters, and all the students to be the best they can be and achieve whatever that they think about, but they might not tell nobody, because you can do it if you believe you can and you reach out to get the help you need. Thank you for the time.